When he stopped by last April, Digging for the Truth host, explorer, and survival expert Josh Bernstein had traveled to 30 countries, logged more than 225,000 miles by plane, boat, motorcycle, and the occasional camel. The country count is way past 30 now, and he's traveled more than 400,000 miles. So Josh has trekked back to Studio 1A to fill us in on his latest adventures. In tonight's episode, he learned something about archery in Mongolia.
I wonder if I can make the grade as a Mongol warrior.
So Josh, I'd like to introduce you to Gun Baturgoy, one of Mongolia's leading archers.
He gives me a piece of horn to protect my thumb, and a quick lesson on archery, Mongolian style.
Like this. Wow. That hurts so much.
Which hurts if it snaps against your fingers.
Better.
Josh Bernstein's new book is Digging for the Truth, one man's epic adventure exploring the world's greatest archaeological mysteries. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Congratulations, first of all, on the book and the series, doing great.
Yep, it's doing very well.
Third
Setting
season,
records, yeah.
setting records for the History Channel, all very good things. I want to talk to you about the book to start off with, because the last time you were here, you were talking about history and the written word, and you said it's kind of boring when you read history. So what changed your mind to write down your experiences?
Well, I think the perception is that it's boring, but presented the right way, and I think Armchair Adventure is one way to get people to sort of bring the stories to life. And I think textbooks don't necessarily do that. Hopefully my book will take people along for this great journey that I've had.
And what you're doing is really retelling the stories of the first two seasons, or some of them, some of the adventures.
Yeah, the highlights.
How did a New York City boy get so involved in archaeology and digging up the truth?
I think my passion has always been education and trying to make anything I'm involved in as passionate as possible. And when the History Channel came along and said, would you be interested in this series? I said, yeah, I'd to travel the world, see the greatest sights, meet wonderful experts, and really bring our collective history to life.
Let's talk about your trip to Egypt. That was in one of the first two seasons.
I've been there all 3 seasons now,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and it's been wonderful to explore the pyramids, the Sphinx, the culture in the Middle East, specifically the archaeology in Egypt is really a bottomless well. There's so much information there, so it's been a pleasure. We've done,
what were
I
you
think,
looking
8
for
episodes.
specifically when you've been in Egypt? I know you did the pyramids.
Yes, first episode was the pyramids. We looked at the Sphinx, and then also it did a show on Nefertiti. Second season, I went back for showing Cleopatra, and this year I went back for Ramses, King Tut, which is coming up, I think, in 2 weeks, and another one on the afterlife, the Egyptian afterlife. That was Zahi Hawass, my good friend now. Yeah, we've had some wonderful moments in Egypt. You really can't go wrong there.
You also went looking for the Ark of the Covenant. Did you find it?
Well, I leave that up for the viewer to decide, but there's a strong argument that it is in Axum, Ethiopia.
And that's where is that where you started?
No, that's where I finished. I started at what people call Mount Sinai in Egypt, made my way to Jerusalem, then I sort of explored the idea of the Ark leaving Jerusalem in the Temple Mount, and then possibly making its way to Axum, Ethiopia.
Do you have a favorite place that you've gone? How many places now? Over 30 countries.
Over 30, well, many of the countries 2 or 3 times now. My favorite archaeological site so far is Machu Picchu, which is another 3rd season show. My favorite building, because I get pretty specific now at this point, is Petra's Treasury. The Nabatean spice traders built the most spectacular facades.
I see the way your eyes light up.
No,
even
it's like nothing else. Yeah, Jordan is a beautiful place.
And tonight is Mongolia, is that correct?
Tonight is Mongolia,
So tell us about
which
that.
is a wonderful culture of Chinggis Khan's dynasty, the 800th anniversary of the founding of the largest land empire in the history of the world. For me, as a horseman and archer, to explore that culture, to try and pull back that 100-pound bow, it was not easy, but it was a lot of fun.
And what are you trying to prove in tonight's episode, or uncover in tonight's episode?
I think it's more of an exploration into the legacy of Chinggis Khan and the Mongol race, and trying to understand what Mongolia is so proud of.
All of these things that you've put out in front of us, these are all things you've collected during your travels.
Yeah, these are things that I've collected, and I ended up using some of these as the chapter heads in my book, because I wanted to bring to life some of the, like, connecting the story with the icons. So this is let's start at the right. This is a camel bone knife that I picked up in Egypt, which is not uncommon. You know, the camels eventually have to be put to other uses, I suppose. This is a monkey skull that I got in the Amazon. Yeah, this one and this one.
What attracted you to that?
Well, it was part of a ceremony that I did with a shaman there involving ayahuasca, which actually didn't make it on to the show, on the Temple of Doom, the Shavin show. But again, it was a gift from the shaman, so I felt it was important to keep that. This is an Axumite cross from Axum, Ethiopia, where the Ark may be. And then this one here at the end is a jambia from Yemen.
And what's a
Also,
jambia?
A jambia is a dagger. It's a symbol of status. Every man wears one on his belt, and it tells you what tribe you're from. And so it's a way of identifying each other, kind of like the gunslingers of the West.
In the time we have left, what message are you trying to put out there? Because most people can't do what you're doing.
Well, that's my message. Like, most people can't do what I'm doing. So I feel like it's my privilege, my honor, and my right to give back as much as I can, whether it's through the show in 1 hour or through the book. But really, I've had the journey of a lifetime, many times over.
You want a great archaeological dig?
Excuse me?
Do you want my advice for a great?
Yes. Oh, yeah, please.
My closets. You get a lot out of them, I tell you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Meredith, pleasure.
Always a pleasure. The book is called Digging for the Truth. Josh Bernstein, thanks very much. And you can check out Josh's travels tonight at 9 on the History Channel. Up next, Mike Leonard meets some people who go about life on a wing and a prayer. But first, this is Today on NBC.